there we go. Sorry about that. I'm not going to lie. Everything was going wrong. It is qualifying now. However, I started off with the wrong. Well, I don't know what was going on. The screen said that I wasn't here. So we're starting off qualifying. We're going to round it off pretty quickly. We're at Zandvoort. We've got 4 races on here. We've got Mitchell, Pixel, Otto, and Ignat. I'm going to say your name wrong, and you're going to have to deal with it for the rest of the race, and that is okay. Let's go, Robert. So, Zandvoort, let's see what times people can put in this short qualifying session. Made shorter by the fact that I forgot that we were even running. Let's see what is happening across the board. Oh, well, they just broke physics. Let's check up on Mitchell over here. Now, it is GT4 racing on Zandvoort, so the times will be a little bit slower, but because there's only 4 races, it should be nice and clear. Plenty of space, not many people fighting, but that's why qualifying is going to be all the more important. Oh, Pixel's return to reality, always good to see. Very good sectors, they're putting in a lap of 1:44.6, nice and clean at the start. Pretty, well, currently purple across all sectors. No one else has set a lap time as of yet, but again, Pixel was the first out, so I'm not really sure what I was expecting with that. In fact, I don't think anyone else has even set a valid sector, or it's just failing to detect that. Let's have a look. Would run you for a lap of Zandvoort, but all of these corner names make no sense. I think it'd be unfair to say the least. Also, you'll have to excuse any weird camera movements just based on the fact that I'm not really familiar with this. With this piece of tooling. Is this him starting or finishing a lap? Ah, I see. It all makes sense now. It is telling me the end during who's setting purple sectors. A little bit annoying, but that was quite a solid 1:46.6. Set at purple sector 2. Oh, which was beaten, unfortunately. It was purple sector 2. And, oh, they slipped off. Maybe Paul is looking to make some changes. Yep, look to make some changes. Let's switch over. Pixel pulling in, still the fastest on track. We just had Otto put in a 1:49.7. Quite solid again. 35s from most of the sectors. In fact, I'm led to it. In fact, I will take that back. I believe the tooling just has no idea what anyone's doing in any sector, because there's no way that Otto did 35 nines for every single sector. I highly doubt that. So we'll just go for the overall lap time. A 1:49, a little bit off the pace, but then again, if the pace is Pixel, no one's going to hit it. Let's see what Rob's doing over there. Kind of out of, well, can you say out of meta? I think that would be rude to say in a Chevrolet. Maybe, but I don't. It's a nice car. They're doing well. Pushing forward again. The sector, yeah, the sector times are very wrong. There's no way they've already done all 3 sectors of 35.7s. There we go. I would say we're halfway through qualifying. We nearly are halfway through qualifying. Everyone's putting about 2 laps, with the exception of Pixel, of course, managing 3 laps in the time it takes to do 2. And pulls back out as well, probably with a new setup. Seeing what can be done in a short amount of time. I mean, currently the front of the grid is looking pretty much, I would say, as expectations. But all to play for, still for 8 minutes. Anything can happen. There we go. This Pixel rounding the last corner on another flying lap. Why it wouldn't be a flying lap at this point. I'm also led to believe that my fuel gauges that I've been given on this app are wrong as well. Yep, that was 1:48. That was definitely not predicted. And stopping, of course, probably to make amendments or refuel. That pull. We're just going for this one. That would be Yeah, that was 2:42. Very far off. Switching over to Rob now. Start the faster lap. I would take it for him, but again, there are these corner names. Best lap he's put in is a 1:46.9, so he's very close to what Paul's getting on this track of 1:46.6. So as long as he keeps keeps four tyres on the tarmac, he could be in for getting one of the front row positions, which I'm sure will be quite nice, especially in a probably not a well practiced category of racing in GT4. Also be nice to see a non-AMG front row, a whole front row lockout of just AMGs. Nice to see variation out the front. Yeah, second times are wrong. Second times might have been fixed. No, they haven't been. No way. Okay, I'll stop hoping on the second times actually reflecting what's happening. Managers just to get in on that qualifying time, because he's so close to getting P2 at the start. Going to the last corner, nice banked corner. No, my mind's gone blank. I was looking at the complete wrong sector. Last lap was 1:48.4. So something must have happened that I probably didn't catch, though, to be honest. Not very attentive. Let's have the next one. Maybe gets in. Well, I say 1:46 was to beat. We'll just put in a 1:45.9. So that's even further out of the gap for Rob. Not saying he can't do that. It's his best so far is 1:46.9 this qualifying. If he can find basically another second, he's in for a shot at that P2 position. Looks like on this lap, Paul's also catching up with Rob. Here we have Otto chilling in his nice Aston Martin, probably with a better livery, which I'm not seeing. A little bit slow through there. Pretty sure there's a time lack of preparation for a faster lap. It's back at the end, isn't it? Is it? No. No, it is. There we go. Oh, ran a little bit wide there. Oof, 4 tyres off. So if he's starting a lap, that's not going to help. If he's ending a lap, well, probably got lap time deleted with 1:52. So I don't know if that would, well, it wouldn't have been valid, but it would have been an attempt at a fast lap. 1:52 is not going to cut it. He needs to find about 3 more seconds. Let's see if he manages. Talking of, we have Paul off here. Is that was that an off? A little bit of a slide? Or is that an intentional pullover? No, it's a pullover. Okay, saw the yellow flag, wasn't too sure what was going on there, but it's probably just a refuel, a little amendment. 1.25 out, with 3 minutes of qualifying remaining. It's all to play for. Pixel still trying to put in a better time, because if you're already 1.2 out ahead of everyone else, why wouldn't you go for more? Nice seeing the winner of the inaugural GT3. Oh, and he's gone off. He's completely missed that corner. What happened there? Let's have a replay there. Short replay. Taking a bit too much speed through there. Looks like he's just touched the grass, which probably unsettled him. And yeah, he's carried too much speed. Straight off into the grass, into the gravel. And that lap time will be deleted. Not like he needs it currently, I'll have to admit. Rob coming towards the end of another timed lap, looking to close that gap to Paul. Coming round, and what time does he achieve here? A 1:36.4, improves on his last lap time. Now still a little bit short of Paul's best time, 1.78 out, but 2 minutes remaining. Depending on how much fuel he has, he could possibly put in another timed lap. Meanwhile, we have Otto, again trying for another time lap. Be quite a hard, tall order. There's a lot to make up for. A lot of seconds to make up for, especially in a class which, I have to admit myself, a little wider, I have to admit myself that I haven't done much with. But putting in the practice and also, in a race, anything can happen. It'll be a short race, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's 15 minutes. So, in that 15 minutes, well, someone can spin out, all sorts can happen. That's my trap swords cameras. What have we got? Oh, that's the same one. Whatever, got a lovely header cam. Wing cam, no one's chasing him. Alistair Bonnet, I do love Bonnet and lovers. Chicane with a Dutch name I don't remember. I apologise. Got lap time I'm looking at here. Oh, I can sneak by looking at the race logic. Pretty smooth. Oh, too wide. All four tyres came off there, so that will be another lap time deleted, unfortunately. So 149 as well. Last sector just not sticking quite probably as Otto intends. Pixel coming off to round another lap. Imagine looking to improve his time further. He will have just enough time to put another lap if he's not happy. Oh, and he improved. That was a 1:44.5. A little bit faster than his previous one. And he's not going to go for another one. I mean, doesn't need to. Don't blame him. Mitchell's taking the P2. Isn't going for the second, another timed lap. So, Rob here, again, sector time to work for me, does have a chance if he can get under a 1:45.9. He is close for the 1:46.4. There's a possibility he could try and steal that second position, qualifying off of Paul, if he just keeps all four wheels on the tarmac for the remainder of the lap. It's looking like he's improved his sector 1 time so far. I found the correct. Oh no! And he's gone off there. That is the qualifying positions confirmed. There we have Pixel at the front, followed by Paul, then Rob and Otto rounding out at the back. So Mercedes lockout. Is that really any different to normal? I imagine not in the real world either. Okay. And it is a session start. We'll just wait for Pixel to round off. Oh, clutch control, everyone. A little bit messy at the start. Here we go then. It is race 1 of the GT4 off-season race Zandvoort. All is to play for. 30 minutes. Let's see what can get done. I'm sure Paul is itching to get past. In similar machinery, I'm sure he knows that anything can happen. There are the lights. Holding steady. And I'm probably going to miss the green because the camera's looking the wrong way. And it's a green light. There we go. Everyone's heading down to turn 1. Tarzan, if I remember correctly. Pixel holding strong with Mitchell trying to stay behind, losing a little bit of ground as Rob takes the inside with Chevrolet. Absolutely sticking in P2. Paul is not going to stand for that. A little bit wide there from Otto at the back. And it looks like it's already... Wow. Pixel's already pulled a gap, coming up to a second already. A little bit wide here from Rob. As Paul tries to make up the position he's just lost. He'll be closing, wanting to get that back. I mean, it's early race, but still lap 1. Very clean start. Let's see who can make this stick. Remembering that Paul was having the faster lap times, so I'm sure Rob will be fighting very hard to keep him behind, especially this opening lap where everyone's slightly more aggressive. No one's really got into the swing of things. Ooh, a little bit late in the braking there. Had to compensate equally for Rob's braking. Coming into the chicane. Looking for holes, I imagine, in the defence of Rob. Rounding off to the end of the first lap. Otto there sticking behind. Dropping back a little bit, but still keeping in touch with the pack. And I imagine Pixel already finishing the first lap. Way out, second ahead. Oh, it looks like Rob went a little bit wide. Paul's going to try make the most of that, I'm sure. A little bit loss of traction. Looks like he's faster. Just tucking in a little bit behind onto that first corner. Seems like nothing is happening, at least in that straight. But Zandvoort has so many corners. There are so many opportunities, things to go wrong. Oh, and they do. Goes a little bit wide, and Paul sits in touch of the brakes, which doesn't go to the back of him. Really close. Looks like he's really pushing him hard there. Paul is not going to let him make any mistakes. He will make them pay for them. A little bit wide there, a little bit slidey it seemed. Looked like the back end went down just a little bit. But that was enough for that gap to get closed even more, down to 0.2 of a second. Paul really sticking with him. It's all going to be down to braking and who sticks with the most traction for all of these corners. Really heating up there. For a full race, I am enjoying the battles while they last, pardon me. Because they are really sticking onto each other. Coming round to the end of the second lap already. Going a little bit wide. Oh! Otto there, I can see in the background, just touching the wall it seems like. We lost a little bit of traction trying to push to hold on to the pack. So we're at the end of lap 3, this is the end of lap 2, I don't know what I'm on about. Of course, Pixel set the fastest time as well. End of lap 2. Only a few minutes in, but already it looks like the pressure's really being put on. It looks like, alongside there, Paul coming into the... No, doesn't make it stick, but he's letting Rob know that he's there, and he deserves the space, and he's taken a position. Rob just went a little bit wide, touching the grass there, which would have slowed him down, but it's all to play for. He still can make that position back. He's just got to stick to the back of Paul for the remainder of this lap and see what pressure he can put back onto him. Paul now really has to make the most of taking that position. Trying to see if he can close the gap to Pixel, who's way out ahead already with a 5-second lead, which is quite a lot when we're only 2 laps in to this 30-minute race. Looks like he's already pulling a gap. It's about 1 second or so ahead. Alex has gone dead. But that gap is not getting much larger between Rob and Paul. Rob is really trying to stick onto the back of him, coming into the end of the second lap. Very clean racing. Unfortunately, I can't go back for the replay because the replay's only let me do 60 seconds. I can't do particular laps. That would have been great, but That's not the way the world works. Paul setting a personal best on that one, 1:46.4. Rob got the 1:47 for the last lap. I imagine probably down to touching that grass at the beginning of the last lap, which gave the position to Paul. Gaps are really building here. We have Pixel way out the front. He's just chilling. Fastest lap still, 1:45.0. His last lap being 1:45.2. No one else is even matching 1:45s yet. So he's pretty secure as long as he keeps all of his tyres where they're supposed to be, in between the lines. Then this will be a race. Well, it's only his race to lose at this point. 6 second gap. A 6 second gap. It's a big gap, especially in Zandvoort. But Zandvoort is very aggressive for tyres, so I imagine that there'll be maybe a part of him which wants to keep them alive just a little bit longer. It's not a 15-minute sprint, it's a 30-minute sprint, and there is no pits. Well, no mandatory pits. You can still pit, I think. Why would you? There's truly no reason to. Unless he's underfueled, but I don't think he's underfueled. I'll be impressed if he's underfueled. This would be an ideal time to have pit wall conversations. But guess what? There's no pit wall. Everyone is setting a personal bests as well in that last lap for improving to a 1:46.2, closely followed by Rob getting the 1:46.6. And of course, Otto there in the Aston Martin at the back, but still setting some good times. And commentator's curse. Sorry about that. Went a little bit wide there. Turn 1, I presume. I seem to remember it was called Tarzan. A little bit wide there as well. Maybe he has performance anxiety, so I will stop commentating this driving. We'll check it out later. The gap is ever building. 8.1, 2 picks in the front, but Rob is really sticking on the back. Pull there. Really not, well, trying to keep him in his sight, not let him go. I'm sure it's frustrating when you fought really hard at the beginning, got position on the start, and then just simple little mistakes. But that's how competitive the field is. Oh. Like Paul broke a little bit late there. Everyone's trying to make up for that. Sees an opportunity, sees where the slack's coming, sees where overtakes can happen. If he also just doesn't, as we say, simply late brake. One of these classic mistakes that I would make if I was racing, but I am not. I am broken. That small mistake, in fact, for the late braking has already cut the gap down to less than a second between the two, with Rob putting in a personal best on that last lap, which is very close to Paul's personal best of 1:46.2. He put on a 1:46.5, which really does narrow it down. It's down to 0.8, the gap between the two. So Paul really needs to keep pushing and keep his times as close to the bottom. The low end of those 1:46, which he did do in qualifying. That his qualifying best was a 1:46.2. Which he hit, actually, yeah. And then that puts Rob with a 1:46.5. Is his personal best overall? Yeah. Would be. Oh, there's some interesting statistics here. Who do you think has the highest top speed overall at this point in the race? None other than Pixel, 234 kilometers an hour. Didn't even know that's a statistic, and it's only 1 kilometer faster than Paul, the next fastest speed trap speed. More you know. Ooh, a little bit wide there, a little bit bouncy. crashes the curb. Shouldn't like damage too much. The gap's just gone over a second between him and Paul. I admit, I don't know enough about GT4 cars to comment on their straight line speed. Or their setup. What wings they're looking at. Because we know that Paul loves his setups. And I'm sure he gave as much love to a GT4 car setup as he would for his GT3 Ferraris. Everyone struggled the last lap to improve on their... Well, I take that back. Otto just been in personal best of 148.8. As Rob goes wide, a little bit squiggly, unsettled. What happened there? Let's have a look for a replay, because I get to click that button every now and again. Maybe he just put down the power a little too early. Yes, looks like he just lost the back end. Good save though, but very close. Giving Paul a little bit more breathing room. Yes, early power, little squiggle. The track temperature and track surface is kind of what you'd expect to be able to put in good times, as is evidenced by Otto putting in a personal best, 148, after getting a performance anxiety at least staring at him. But squiggly driving through bad power application, I'm sure is painful. A little knock to the confidence when you're trying to close a gap, which you know that you can close. And as I say that, close it again to less than a second. A little bit of back and forth here as they both make small little have to make small little adjustments here and there, and it's all stacking up. It's going to be right down to the last lap between these two. As Pixel puts in a new fastest lap of a 1:44.6, which is way off what anyone else has got for their fastest lap of 1:46s. So 1:44, 12.6 lead advantage. There you go. How's Otto doing? Last lap of 150. A little bit wide, not really improving on his personal best that he had in the previous, this lap 6. This is going into lap 8. Or was it the other way around? Counting is weird on this app. There's plenty of time to look at other things going on this app, which makes no sense. Gap between Rob and Paul. It's continuing to just fluctuate between under a second to a second. I'm sure they're both pushing very hard. Especially on a track which has got so many corners and braking points to remember. It's track 6. It's really going to be a close one. Down to just half a second. We are approaching half race distance, with two drivers having a very lonely race, Pixel and Otto, and right in the middle we have two drivers who are really trying their absolute hardest to not make even the smallest of mistakes. As Paul puts in a 147 for the last lap, Rob is getting on the 146s. Maybe something happened the last lap that we just missed. As I said, it's a very harsh track on tyres. While these two are fighting, which is the only fighting to watch. We have Pixel, of course, improving and improving, probably trying to see what fastest lap he can get slotted in during this race. Quite the lead, 14.7. And as I say that, Rob close gap 0.3. Looks like he's looking about what moves he can make. Oh, ball's gone a little bit wide. That's going to cost him dearly on this straight. And Rob knows it. Really trying to stick it by the pressure. This is F1 DRS for open, but this isn't F1. So instead, he's just got to see what he can do in the braking. Both sticking really close to the racing line. Go for that pinpoint accuracy. Paul is not going to let this slide easily. Just close racing. Both of their last laps were pretty close with 146.7 and 146.5. So no gaps are being pulled. No breathing space for either of them. Well, I've said it, we're over half race distance now. Good for it. At least it's not been a lonely race for either of these two. As my leg pillow has fallen off. Ouch. Still under a second. It's been under a second for quite a while, so I'm sure Paul is really feeling that fire behind him. Every braking zone counts. When you still have 12 minutes remaining, you really need to keep it together. Front goes a little bit wide, touching the curb quite aggressively. Ooh, as it looks like there's a little bit of a slide there again from Paul. Not that it matters because the gap is back to over a second, but he goes completely wide there. It's like all four tyres came completely off the track. As he also puts in a personal best, 56.2. So maybe not all four are off the track because they counted it. Oh! As Rob misses his braking point. Oh, I'm sure that's got to hurt. Especially when you're really trying to close that gap. Just get a replay of that. Just like he just misses, carries a little bit too much speed. Doesn't pay too heavily for it. But it has increased that gap to more than I'm sure he wants it to be. Let's check out some of our other races. Here's Pixel, still out the front, 15.9 seconds of a lead. 16.2 of a lead. Ever increasing. So far in 10 laps, undisputed. It would take his wheel disconnecting to change that, I imagine. Random hiccups. With the still completely barbaric best time at 144.6, when no one's even braking in the 145s themselves. Well, apart from Pixel. And equally having a lonely race, back is Motto. Really grinding away, working hard, improving his times constantly as well. Really pushing that Aston Martin. I'm sure his tyres are screaming a little bit from a few off-track adventures. But still, pushing hard, because anything can happen in racing, especially with 10 minutes remaining, as he misses the chicane, bless him, and says hi to the wall. But it's fine, Aston Martins can take it. That's what the price tag is for. There we go. Rounding off everyone from doing into lap 11. 150 for that lap. Both Paul and Rob managed a 147. in the last lap, a bit slower than they've been doing up to this point. I guess the tyres might be feeling the effects of them having this back and forth battle where every mistake can be super costly, as Rob has made that gap back up from the earlier mistake at the beginning of the last lap, where he just went a little wide, carried too much speed into turn 1. As he carries too much speed into that one, makes it stick though, which is probably a little bit of a clench moment. They go through the chicane into the last corner. .146.6 for both of them. 146.62 and a 46.68. So they're really putting lap times to match each other, keep each other on their toes. And it's kind of a bit of a back and forth. Okay, I have a race control button. Let's not touch that. Virtual safety car. Don't know what I would do with that. Talking of superstars, how's Auto doing? Looks like getting very close to a personal best. No, just a little bit over 151. Putting in those good times. With 7 minutes and 40-ish remaining. Really does look like Paul and Rob are really going to have to hold on right to the end, as Otto just, oh no, loses it. Looks like he's got severe damage to his car. Let's get a replay on that. Here he is coming to the corner. Looks like he completely misses the braking, touches the grass, and that was all it needed. The bounce and the rebound. It's a yellow flag in that sector. It's good that he's got it going, and he's had to go to the garage to get it repaired. Understandable. While we were checking on Otto, it seems that Rob also had an off-road mistake, because that gap has increased to 3.4 between him and Paul. It's showing as him having an invalid lap time currently, so I imagine that he's gone off and we've just missed it. Yeah, that last one was a 149.0. Not sure what's happened, but I'm sure it's frustrating, both him and Otto, pushing really hard and it just not quite sticking in the way that they want. Jeez, I need a drink, man. There you go. Just entering the last 6 minutes of this GT4 race at Zandvoort. It's been a pretty strong race from everyone, working really hard with what they've got with these GT4 cars, putting in good times and really trying their darndest. This Paul really gives himself some breathing room to Rob. Meanwhile, Pixel is giving himself some breathing room to Mitchell. Nearing on 20 seconds of a gap. Otto looks like he might have retired, but I commend him for the sportsmanship continuing on in the face of the adversity of the car that he was driving. And it's quite a, I'm sure, annoying mistake there at the beginning. That's sector 1. Does look like it's going to be rounded off to be quite quite a clear outcome. sure Rob knows that he's got 4 minutes to make up 4 seconds. What he'll be hoping for is a mistake, an off, or just a miracle. It was last lap being a 1:47.4. Looks like the pace is just dropping. Maybe his tyres have really suffered from an off that we didn't see, or from a spin, or just from a collection of mistakes in late braking, just culminating through the as I say that, Paul gets track limits. What happened there? Let's give it a little replay. Carrying a lot of speed through that turn, touched the grass, but that was all it needed. He spun. Oof. Good save though. He's really cut that gap down. Everyone's tyres, apart from Pixels, I imagine. Oh, I say that. Pixels pitting. What is going on here? He has a 17-second lead with 3 minutes remaining, and he's pitting. Is this for fuel? I'm sure Paul has seen that Pixel is pitting, and it will now be pushing like anything. Let's get a heady cam. There is Pixel coming out just now of his pit box. He's not going to get out in time. Is he a lap ahead? Paul has taken the lead. I don't think anyone's been overlapped. The Paul is now in the lead. No. He went straight for the pit. I'm very confused. You can tell my brain's not working today. The gap has been cut to 4.2 seconds with 2 minutes remaining. Really moving the target back there. Well, I think I just clicked out my mic. Really moving the target back there for Paul, who I'm sure will be paying attention to that sudden gap drop. I think I got confused because Otto was coming out of the pit on the helicam, and that confused me. I think Pixel just went through, giving himself an effective drive-through penalty. Cutting the gap down to 4 seconds from 20 isn't a lot. As we head into the last minute of the race, probably a lap. One more lap. This will be entering the final lap. So everyone's just got to keep doing what they're doing, and it looks like we'll have pretty much qualifying as the end result, which should be good for all races.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
There we go. Thank you very much, Mr. Radio Man, who I have not turned off, for reminding me that it is the final lap. Well, what could be said about this race? Pixel did everything he had to do, set a good, quick qualifying, started the position, kept the lead throughout the race, built the gap, and then had enough time to pit, refuel or whatever he was doing, change tyres, or just give himself a drive-through, because why not? Getting the fastest lap of 1:44.6, not even close from the other people. A absolute class of his own out at front. And then Paul and Rob fighting real hard with some nice clean overtake from Paul at the start. Well, sorry, from Rob at the start of Paul. With Paul waiting until Rob made the mistake and doing what he needed to do to keep out in front. And Otto putting in the times that he had to put in as he goes a little bit wide. But keeps it on. But again, credit where credit's due, sticking out to the end of a long, hard stint, I'm sure. Here we go as Pixel goes round the chicane and into the last corner to take the checkered flag, as that is race time, and this is the last corner of effectively his victory lap. After a 20-second lead out front, what more needs to be said? Pixel has won, and there he is. He won.
The leader has finished the race.
And next across the line we have Paul in P2. Hard fought. followed by Rob. Just 8 seconds behind again. Fought really hard to try and keep the back of Paul. And made P3 stick. And then Otto rounding up. Ooh, and a little bit of donuts for everyone. Nice to see. Well,